Good morning. And it's kind of a dreary morning here in New York City. But who's counting the days without snow? I'm pretty thankful. It's 50 some odd degrees, and I don't have the weather patterns of the South with the tornadoes in Alabama and Mississippi. That's pretty horrid. I don't have the hurricanes of Florida. And we're not experiencing the Pineapple Express, the atmospheric rivers, or the bomb cyclones in California. No, siree, New York City seems to be in its own little bubble, hobbling along, hoping to find its way back to a thriving metropolis. It's going to be tough, but it's doable. Everything is doable, except if you listen to the proud nihilist. And who do I talk about when I talk about the proud nihilist? Not you and me, folks. No, we want to survive. We want to survive, and we want to thrive, and we want to see our kids thrive as well. But those nihilists, they knew what was going to happen to us in 2022 and 23 and on. They predicted it, they scientifically proved it, and they just didn't care. Who am I speaking about? Well, number one on the hit parade is ExxonMobil. Way back in the 70s, when Press gave his memorandum to Jimmy Carter saying, 2000s and up, that's when you're going to see climate warming that may not be reversible. Well, the fossil fuel industry proved that that trajectory was absolutely going to happen, that we would be battling carbon emissions, that we would be seeing global warming of 2 degrees at least, that we would be losing our biodiversity, our water supplies, our air would be polluted, and we would have these feedback loops of weather extremes that cause devastation to both man and property. I looked at Merced, and I had been railing against Merced a couple of weeks ago because it was using diesel trucks in a residential area to establish their logistics loop. UPS, FedEx, Amazon, massive millions of square foot factories, 60% underwater. And I wonder with dismay what happened to the Latino communities surrounding them. Doesn't matter to the proud nihilists among us who only see profit. Well, took us 40 years or 50 years to get rid of tobacco. We've started working on the opioid crisis. It's time we worked on fossil fuels. They spent all their money gathering up their profits, using their marketing skills to have a disinformation campaign that made so many in America and over the world deniers of climate change. Well, you can't deny it when it's hitting you square in the face, when you look at everything that you've built up over the years and it's vanished with the water or with the wind. Hard to deny it then. But we have recourses, and we can be suing them up the kazoo. And we should be. And we should be taking away their subsidies and using it for the renewable energy that they can provide. And others can provide at a decent price. And when I think of connectivity, I know that this United States can be connected. And I know what we can do when we cooperate with each other to work on plans not only for our country, but our global community. No need to be a nihilist unless all you're thinking about is the profits for you and nothing for the rest of us. No, siree. With cooperation, we're already seeing a decrease in the ozone level over the entire planet. And why is that happening? Because at the UN level, we agreed to ban certain chemicals that deplete the ozone level. So now ozone in the atmosphere is at 1980s levels. If we continue on the path we're going, we will have a well-integrated ozone level by 2040. That's with global cooperation. We've got an interesting experiment going on in Ukraine. Elon Musk, SpaceX, produces Starlink. Starlink are many satellites up in the lower stratosphere, I gather, that the troops on the ground can utilize to give them Wi-Fi and connectivity. Doesn't seem to be hack-proof, and it is allowing troops on the ground to see enemy positions and then target them. It's also giving Wi-Fi to the communities that surround them. So my question to all of us is, why aren't we using Starlink here? Why aren't we using it for consumers? People who are in rural areas where we know we got dead zones. You put up a dish and you hook up to Starlink. Can't be that expensive if many communities within a state decide to do that. Who needs Verizon or Spectrum or any of the others when we can go with Elon Musk's Starlink? To me, it's a no-brainer. It's also a no-brainer to have fossil fuel industries give up their subsidies for renewable energy. Norway is going 100% renewable. They've got so much wind power that they're able to give power to the rest of Europe. If Putin hadn't invaded Ukraine, Norway never would have thought to go 100% renewables. But so many of the countries now in Europe are forced to go green that they'll get there before us, and we can't get there soon enough. I think our cities and our states have seen enough devastation. The cost of devastation in life and property has far outweighed the benefit of the fossil fuel industry. Its time has come. And when you think of emissions and what can be done, we know. If you go back to heritage farming, talk to the indigenous people, you can reduce those methane gases on the farms. We can do it. No need to be a nihilist. We can see that when we act together with purpose for the common good, we can achieve a lot and reverse or stop the weather extremes. And that's what I'm always espousing. It's not about the politics. At this point in time, it's about funding the solutions, because the solutions are what will bring us safely to the 22nd century. We can do it, everyone. All we need is the will. Having a clown show in Congress is not what I want to see. I want to see clowns. I'll go to Ringling Brothers, thank you. Congress has real work to do. Real work to save our cities and our states and make sure that America is strong in all ways. When we come up with innovations like Starlink, that to me is a game changer, and it probably will be for many other countries. Why not America? And when we're talking about that, one of the things that I've also written about this week are seawalls that are going up all over the world. And there's a small town in Missouri that's really pretty thankful that their ancestors put in seawalls 40 years ago because they didn't flood out when everyone else did. We don't have to look at extinction. We don't have to look at extinction rebellions. All we got to do is make sure that those proud nihilists have seen their last proud day. And let's take them to court, take away their subsidies, and make them pay for the reconstruction that all of our states will need. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a lovely day. If you're suffering, I'm sorry. I wish you well. God bless you all, and thank you for listening. Bye now.